identity. Nigerian women, East African women, women from Ghana, they have no cultural identity. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean. You see, I work in an industry which is information technology. In information technology, there is one country that really stands out when you talk about information technology, and it's India. Indians, for some weird reason, I don't know how they got into that thing in the cultural context. Everybody maybe went in for IT. The whole country made a powerful reference to IT, just like China made a huge push into industrialization that deals with tools. The idea of having the tools to make a car or make a shoe, heavy industrialization that they can use to serve the world. India went into this heavy thing about information technology. In my 12 years of working in information technology, everywhere I go, it's loaded with Indians. If the information technology, for example, if a place has maybe 20,000 workers, I'm talking about a huge place, in which maybe 10,000 of their workers are engineers, software engineers, computer engineers, so on and so forth. I can assure you that of the 10,000, 9,500 will be Indians. So what has been my exposure there? Indian women. They're the one, they're 4 feet, some of them little 4 feet, things, small things that are making dream money. They came direct from their village into the system and they're making 180,000, 190,000, 200,000 dream money. But there's a strange thing I notice about them. As they come to work, they're wearing their native wear. That thing that they tie and hang on their neck with that dot here. Another strange thing I've noticed about them is you will never, ever, for all my years, I stayed in the United States, I was born here. In all my years of staying here, you will never hear the Indian women dragging their men to the American court system for divorce. It is our women that use the American court system to destroy our men. They bring the court in to help them destroy the men. You will never hear Indian women doing that thing. You will never hear women from China taking Chinese men into the American court system to destroy them with divorce. You will never hear women from Korea dragging their men in huge numbers into the American court system to destroy them. But when it comes to African women, East Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, when it comes to African women, they just drag their men into the court system. One of the things that I've noticed in this system or in this problem is poverty. Bring these Indian women, they're making 150,000, 180,000. They don't drag their men into court. Plus, sometimes, like in most places, all the places I've ever worked in information technology, they'll have one car. Not that I'm supporting that behavior, but there's something strange on why I see them. They have one car. They wait for their husbands. Even if their husbands are working 2 hours overtime, over their time, they'll wait. Some of them pregnant, waiting for their husbands. When it's finished, they go into the same car with their husband and drive home. I watch Indian women and women from so many other places. They're not crazy about the Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all the designers wears. They are not even interested. Indian women, I meet them. They've been here 15 years, 20 years. They still keep their accent. They still speak as if they're living in India. But when I meet our women, and our women, all that they have to do is just get to a level of where they're making 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 or 80,000 a year. I'm talking about small money. Small money. Immediately the marriage is in danger. And they change. They start bleaching. And they start talking, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure. Yeah, oh my God, I went to New York. And I'm like, even I who was born here, I don't speak like that. I look at others like the Chinese. They can't speak English very well. And their women may be driving very expensive cars that belong to their husbands. And I look at the Indian women who don't speak English very well, and they're not interested in changing their accent or their undertone. And they wear their native dress, that thing, and everything to work. I look at Korean women. I look at other women. They have this sense of cultural identity. African women do not have a sense of cultural identity whatsoever. Little money, and the marriage is over. One thing I've discovered, a common trend, once the women make, they go, nurse, 80,000 is all they need to make. And suddenly your marriage is in danger. They want to call the shots. They want to be the ones that control everything. And if you don't like it like that, they'll bring in the American courts to destroy your life, destroy everything around you. They will insult you, and I'm like, 80,000 is all that it takes for someone to change. Or 70,000, because most of them, even the 80,000 is overtime. They've worked themselves Sunday, Saturday night, Sunday nights. They've worked themselves to death. That money that they make as overtime is what is now changing into something that they will destroy everything around them. the part that I see also is that a lot of, and I remember whenever I make my videos, I refer to bitch ass men. Bitch ass men. It has come to a point where we really can't define marriages in the African context anymore in the United States, because the man is changing diapers, he's washing the plates, he's sweeping the floor, he's cooking. Most men now have to cook to keep their marriages intact. He's picking the kids and dropping them. Like in what, like I've seen the experiences. I don't need to go far. I don't want to go too, but the woman is shouting at them, where's the child's belt? Where's the child's socks? Where's the child's everything? And the women go around telling everybody, we are partners. There's nothing like head of the household. We are partners. Okay. So the men are doing everything in the women's role and also doing everything in their role, and they also keep their jobs. And that is supposed to be the perfect. If you don't do like that, they'll call American court on you. This partner thing, I've seen people try it, and it leads to disaster. Like he says, okay, so since I'm the one doing the laundry and washing the plates and cooking the food, can you help me change that bulb? No, that's a man's job. Okay, can you help me change the engine oil in the car? No, that's a man's job. Okay, can you help me paint the other? No, it's a man's job. The women are quick to tell you what's a man's job, but you must do your job and do their job now, and do their job and keep your job also in the society, and come back and still, even there's no respect, you are supposed to be submissive, or the marriage ends on your head. And when you look into it, she started making $80,000, and I compare that with the Indian women who make $150,000, $160,000.
Reasons why many African girls are still single today, despite them being exceptionally beautiful, educated, and very intelligent. Number 1, social media and television influence. African girls are so glued to their phones and televisions, so the only thing that dominates their mindsets today is how to live the fake celebrity life being promoted on social media and television channels. Number 2, they dislike cooking, kupika, and home chores. They have been brainwashed by movies showcasing men playing the role of women. But no African man can desire to marry this kind of attitude, knowing that he will only be buying more headache and trouble than a helper for himself. Number 3, too much makeup. Mafuta ya paka. Let me tell you this. Too much makeup turns most serious-minded men off. So many men on the streets may applaud and compliment you for looking like an Egyptian mummy, but most serious men don't like makeup at all. They just want you to look simple and natural. Number 4, too busy for nonsense on phone. You like giving your phone number out to every Dick and Harry. No man wants to propose marriage to a lady whose phone is always talking and laughing to unserious cause. You may not be a playgirl, but your phone makes you to be judged as one. Number 5, useless best friends. Your useless best friends are ruining your life. You still allow your clique of friends to be dictating which man to meet, which man is worthy of your love, and which man deserves to be rejected. But one fact you must wake up and face is that those your so-called besties don't want you to marry before them. They don't want you to marry any man who appears to be better than their men. They are secretly competing with you. Number 6, you package yourself wrongly. Your hot girl, pretty girl, and sexy girl looks have derailed you from appealing to appalling. Not all clothes that look sexy are good for a serious summit searching single lady. No. In fact, you look more wallish than modest, more destructive than attractive, and more disgusting than adorable. Your dressing determines who gets attracted to you. If you dress high school, only high school thinking guys will be attracted to you. If you dress sexy and provocative, only random men will come to you for the urgent satisfaction of their sex edge and not for marriage. Shine your eyes, girl.
So can I say as a man, right, that perfect balanced man that you're looking for doesn't exist.
I know.
And
We all know.
so you having that in your head, and I think that's a lot of the time why women get disappointed with men, because they've created this actual man in their head that actually doesn't exist, right? And so you're looking for this man and you think, oh, that's the one. It's like, he doesn't exist. No woman has found the quote unquote perfect man yet. They're looking for him though. And I think that's because you guys have been sold a Disney version of what relationships are. You know, like men, there are just good men and good women, right, out there. And I think that this whole, a man should be this, we want that. He's got to have an edge to him, but then he's got to be nice, and he's got to be loyal, but then he's got to be a homemaker, but then he can't be too nice. It's like how this list is like how long? Like
So
what is this list?
How it is the list from men about women then? Tell me.
Our list is very simple.
Tell us.
Don't talk too much. Okay, be cooperative. Be a good mother if you got children, and cooperate. Like
Don't talk too much. What the hell?
because men like peace.
So
We
essentially,
do.
No,
You
women
guys
don't like
give us
peace.
Trauma.
Women don't like peace. I generally don't think women like peace. I think once women get peace, they get bored. I think women like excitement.
Yeah,
I think they like something a little bit more edgy, a little bit more exciting. Because if you give a woman too much peace, she's like, oh, this is a little bit boring. Whereas men will be happy to be bored for the rest of their life, chill with a woman, have this woman as their woman, and be like, all right, cool, this is my woman for the rest of her life.
Did you know women only swipe right between 5 and 15% of the time on dating apps, where men swipe right 50 to 60% of the time?
Why do you think that is?
Why? Because women have to be more selective. We carry a kid for 9 months, so it's like in our DNA, in my opinion. Where men were more programmed to like spread their seed. And like women have a long list of requirements, typically as that prerequisite, which sometimes are probably unreasonable.
Yeah, I think women get disappointed by their own
Expectation.
expectations.
yes.
And I think I think women's expectations are quite deluded. If I'm totally honest, I think it's like I've known a few women who have said, "Oh, I wanted this guy and I got with him, but he was too nice." I said, "But you said you wanted a nice guy." Yeah, but he was too. What the? Does too nice mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, he was just a bit boring. He was just a bit squared. He didn't have any like edge to him. It's like that is why when women go for these quote unquote dogs, they have that excitement. They have that spice to them. They have that edge to them. And then when that man acts the way he's supposed to act as that type of guy, you get disappointed. You're like, he's a dog. It's like, no, well, you picked him. You picked him because you saw that edge in him.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think there's like extreme. There's like the too sweet guy, and there's like the player, the excitement. There's like, I never met a guy that has both. I've
Because
met
there's
a guy that has
such
very
thing.
sweet. That was my 7-year relationship, my ex, and then I met another guy for 1.5 years, and he gave me all that excitement and then trauma, and I'm
Right.
still healing. So
Right.
this is not me normal.
So why did you? So with the sorry, if you don't mind me asking. So the 7-year guy, what was bad about that? Like, what was bad about that relationship?
He's a great guy. Like when it comes to heart, like he's a great human. You know, he has a good heart. I just feel like he would make me jealous on purpose, like in front of me. I don't know why. You know, like I was like, what the fuck? I feel like he was probably insecure, and that's your problem. And if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. I'm here to listen, but I'm not here to experience your pain or triggering your frustrations. You know, if you get triggered, don't put it on me. So yeah, he was making me jealous, and then on my birthday, for example, I actually got traumatized because honestly, so he was next to me and a girl was next to him, and he was talking to her. I don't mind, talk who the fuck you want, but then he was putting his
Sounded like
hand-
you minded.
No, I mind.
I'm not gonna lie. It sounded like you did mind.
I mind because that's what I'm telling you right now, is because he was talking to her and he was putting his hand on her leg and it was like glue on his hand. It didn't just touch and, took off. It just let his hand there, like had glue for 5 minutes. And then I pinched myself. And on my birthday, I just felt like, what the fuck? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Wow. I didn't mean to make you tell that story and get upset.
But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, it's my birthday, It's your day. It's a day that you cannot forget, Because you're gonna always remember. And
it's hard when it's situations like that that make you think about just other situations, because 7 years is a long time. And if I were you, I'd be like, I'm for the streets too. Forget him. I'm out here. I'm gonna go around and find something better. So it's hard to want to find the person that you want, and you have these things, and you essentially get that person, but is what you want, but and at the end it's like not what you want. And you're like, I never thought that person would have done that. But it's like we cast our vision on what we want, but we don't see past. It's like our hand is our vision, but we can't see past our hand because our hand's in the way, and what they really are is behind our hand, but we don't move it because this is what I want, this is what I see, and I want this, but what they really are is behind it. And I feel like we as women have standards, which we should for ourselves, but it's so astronomical that we're not able to really see who a person is. So stuff like that happens because we have these standards and this image of who we want in our lives that we can't see the red flags, or we see them but we don't acknowledge them, or we don't say anything about them. We brush it off like, oh, this.
Now, let's listen to a player, an immature man that doesn't really understand what is required in a relationship, or what requires for a relationship to work out. This is a player. He's speaking in this way because he does what women want, and that is to please them. And you can never listen to advice from a player.
Strong women intimidate weak men, and a lot of weak men tend to be narcissistic men. And these men don't look at you as a partner, they look at you as competition. And the only way to make themselves feel better is to try to make you feel like you aren't good enough. So he belittles you, he lies, he cheats, he does anything he can to break you so he can feel like he's above you. But he won't let you leave because deep down he knows that you are a good woman, and he doesn't want a good man to get his hands on you. Because see, when you meet a strong man who is confident in who he is, you are no longer competing. You are working together as a team.
This guy grinds my gears. Oh, the pandering is real. Pandering is so real. Let me play this one more time, okay? Let me play this one more time so you guys can hear what this man says.
Strong women intimidate weak men, and a lot of weak men tend to be narcissistic men. And these men don't look at you as a partner, they look at you as competition. And the only way to make themselves feel better is to try to make you feel like you aren't good enough. So he belittles you, he lies, he cheats, he does anything he can to break you so he can feel like he's above you. But he won't let you leave because deep down he knows that you are a good woman, and he doesn't want a good man to get his hands on you. Because see, when you meet a strong man who is confident in who he is, you are no longer competing. You are working together as a team.
Here's the biggest problem with this conversation, okay? Here's the biggest problem. A lot of women constantly mistake strength with disrespect, with being rude, with being outspoken, with having to have the last word, with challenging their man's manhood, emasculating their man. They think that all of those things define strong. When in actuality, all of those things define weakness in a woman. It's weakness in a woman when you have to resort to disrespect because your feelings are hurt. When you have to emasculate or challenge the thought of your leadership because he's not doing exactly what you want him to do when you want him to do it. That's weakness. Strength in a woman looks like not having to explain or overemphasize anything, not having to challenge you. Not having, because you said this, I'm going to go tit for tat for you. You know how easy it is and how much power it does not take? How simple it is to respond to negativity with negativity? You know how easy that is? Children do that. Walk up to a child and slap that child and see if that child don't come back and go, and hit you. It's easy. You know what's difficult? What takes real strength? What takes power? Saying nothing. Shutting up. Being quiet when your feelings are hurt. Knowing that you don't have to go tit for tat, that you can save that space and have a conversation later when you have composed yourself. Men are not intimidated by the strength of women. That's foolishness. And you know why it's foolishness? Because he's saying when a strong, strong men do this and then they work as a team. The common denomination for competitive nature is women. It's women. A woman could be in a relationship with a good guy. Then she starts making more money than him. Then all of a sudden, you're not going to be spending my money. You're not going to be doing this because now that I got this, you can't be. Where does it come from? A lot of these women love these kind of conversations and love the things that these men say because it feels good to them. It allows them to say, I don't need to change anything. I can keep being disrespectful. I don't need to say anything. I could be rude. I don't need to fix me. I just need a strong man to come along and then I'll automatically do what? Submit? Cooperate? Be kind? I don't think so. You think that all of a sudden a strong man gonna come around and all of that strength within you just gonna dissipate? No, because eventually, once that relationship starts to mature, he's going to be like a regular person to you. You're not gonna be focused on his leadership. You're not gonna be focused on the things that got you into the relationship to begin with. Now he's just gonna be a regular man, and you're gonna treat him just as bad as you treat everybody else. Because that's just your nature, because you just rude. You just nasty. You just disrespectful. Strength to women now looks like what it means to be strong as a man. Women equate their strength to what a man's strengths are now. Women don't find power in femininity. Well, if I say it calm twice and he don't do it, now I'm going to raise my voice so things could get done because it seemed like that's the only way he listened. Women don't find power in the divine feminine. They don't find it. Women only find power in masculinity. That's why they challenge it with masculine energy. They challenge their man's masculine energy with masculine energy. They're the challenge. That's not complementary. A lot of these women are in relationships or can't even make it to the relationship phase because they don't know how to be complementary to their man. They only know how to challenge. Disrespect. Oh, well, you think your ball's big, mine is bigger than yours. Challenge. It's not cute. And it will keep you single. Conversations like this keep you single. Because it keeps you unevolved. Unwilling to change. Unwilling to learn about yourself. Unwilling to examine your wrongdoings. That's what it keeps you. It keeps you bound. There's no doubt that there are people who are in relationships with people, men and women, who both deal with people who are narcissistic or have narcissistic ways. A lot of times, y'all just be throwing around that word narcissistic like you like to sprinkle it. Just to prove that you're not the wrong person in the relationship. Yeah, girl, well, we was just uncompatible. You know, we didn't get along. He was not nice. He didn't buy me flowers every day. He didn't shower me in gifts like so-and-so's husband. And also, he was a narcissist. Y'all just put it in there for a little razzle-dazzle. Don't even know what it means. A lot of people don't know what that word means. Can't even define it. A lot of y'all need to replace the word narcissist with just selfishness. A lot of people also need to take the gaze off of looking at their partner when they read what it means to be narcissistic. And sometimes you'll find that the same person who's calling somebody else narcissistic has those traits within themselves. Isn't that a shocker? There's no doubt that men and women alike have partners that sometimes are holding on to them and who are not necessarily on the level to actually be with or encompass that entire person. And so they try to keep them bound in the relationship to make them stay with them. Absolutely. But stop making it a one-sided thing. Because there's a lot of women who are guilty of seeing a man who has potential here and trying to control him. Oh, why are you going out the house? Why are you going with your boys? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Oh, you going to start a business? You might as well just stay at your regular job. Oh, you going to do this? You might as well just do that. There's a lot of women who do that because they know that once that man realizes the amount of options that he has and the fact that he don't got to deal with your mouth and he don't got to deal with your disrespect, and he don't got to deal with your emasculation tactics, that he can go be with somebody else who's actually peaceful, that he gonna run for the hills. And y'all don't want that. So a lot of women are keeping their men bound. Also, stop making it a one-sided conversation. Because just because a woman is a woman does not mean she's perfect. Does not mean that she has no wrongdoing. Does not mean she can't be toxic. And again, one of the main problems a lot of these women have right now is they only find strength in masculinity, not in femininity. That's why there's a lot of men coming up and saying, you're masculine, you're in your masculine energy, because they are. Because they think that's where all the power resides. All the power resides in masculinity, so I'm going to be masculine. Why don't you be the balance? Why don't you try being the balance for a change? Who cares if you've never seen it? Who cares if it doesn't feel good? Who cares if sometimes your feelings are hurt and you still got to be able to be in your feminine role and not say what's on the tip of your tongue? Who cares? That's what's going to keep the relationship together. That's what's going to keep the respect that he has for you. Because every time you disrespect your man, he has a list, believe me. And all it does is add on to the list. Till you become undesirable. Till you become somebody that he feels like he always got to be combative with. That he just have the word sitting ready because he know how you stay. He know how your mouth do. You disrespectful all the time. Till he just sitting there. He's sitting already waiting for you. Undesirable. Don't want to be with you. Don't want to sleep with you. Don't want to be around. Don't want to go on a date. Don't want to hang out. Don't want to romance you because he can't stand you. And I'll do everything for him. I cook, I do this, I do that. I don't see what the problem is. I don't know why he can't do that, because you can't fathom that you've had a part to play in this. You can't fathom that you've done things to run this man out. You can't imagine. It can't possibly be you. I can't stand this narrative, guys. I can't stand it. I can't stand the people who think that they can say all these things to women. And it's very counterproductive. It's just very counterproductive. Very, in my opinion. Okay? In my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.